underway momentarily. First order of business, please silence your cell phone unless you can guarantee that your ringtone will exactly match what we're playing at the time. But if your ringtone is Tiger Rag, it's not going to match what we're playing. So if you would take a moment to please silence your cell phone, we would appreciate it. You're going to have a chance to sing along a couple of times tonight, so I hope you brought your Christmas voices with you. And if you didn't, you can just beat time to the music. Because I know this time of year, some of us have kind of a hoarse voice, and it's hard to sing. So welcome to our Christmas concert, Cookies and Carols. The ringers you see behind you have worked hard. This year, it's been a bit of a rocky road getting here. We've had ringers who tripped and fell and are recovering from a fall. We have a ringer who last week found out he has to have triple bypass surgery. This morning I got a call at 8:15, one of our ringers has the plague. So you will see a few pun of the night ringers in here that are playing different parts than they're used to playing. And one of them, Jeff down here, raise your hand, Jeff, is from a different choir. We've been bringing people in off the streets. But Marianne over here, Marianne in the red, is playing in about the fourth position I've asked her to play in at some point or another through all of this. But these ringers have all worked very hard, and they appreciate your being here tonight. We're going to start off with a piece that will let you do some Christmas singing. Joy to the World. It's an English hymn originally written by Isaac Watts from a Handel tune. So I will face you all and give you an entrance when we are ready to sing. And then on our final carol, you'll get a chance to sing as well. Singing. You all are invited to choir practice right after this performance tonight to join our choir singing. Thank you very much for putting us in the Christmas spirit. We're going to tone it down a little bit and play you basically a lullaby, Away in a Manger. This arrangement has the two tunes you might have heard Away in a Manger sung to. One of them is the one that we all grew up singing in Sunday school. The other one is a little bit newer than that, but both of those tunes are woven together in Michael Hellman's arrangement. And you get little glimpses of Infant Holy, Infant Lowly in with that one. So it kind of gives a lullaby feel, and it evokes the picture of the baby sleeping in the manger. Those of you who have been to our concerts before know a lot about how bells work, but some of you may not have been here before. You would think that once a bell is rung, it's rung, and there's nothing you can do to it. And that's sort of true, but you can use different motions, like the echo sound, when you saw them lightly touching the bell to the mallet. Later tonight, you'll see swinging, that again, the sound dies away from you and comes back. You'll see something called a martellato, where they will push the bell into the pad to make a sharp staccato percussive sound. So there are a lot of different techniques that you can use, but basically once the bell is rung, it's rung. Each of these ringers here are responsible usually for 2 notes. So say a middle C and a D. But that means they also do the C sharp and the D sharp, so they may have 4 bells in front of them. The little upper ones, you'll see some of the treble ringers using 2 in each hand, and they probably are responsible for roughly 8 bells. There are some ringers, I'm not one of them, I tried, that can hold 3 bells in each hand. My fingers aren't quite long enough, but then they are responsible for even more. So as you can imagine, when somebody gets the flu at the last minute or, is caught in traffic or whatever, their notes aren't even played if they aren't here. So it's a little different from a vocal choir, that if you have 6 altos and 2 of them are out, you still have an alto section. But if each person is responsible for unique bells, if they're not there, then there's just, it's just silence. So I'm very grateful that everybody was able to be here tonight, and grateful that we have a few people who could step in at the last minute to fill out and let you hear some of these pieces the way they were intended to be played. The first Noel is next on our list. It also uses some of those techniques I was telling you about. To me, it has a sense of like a calm, rolling river, or like the fog rolling in at night. And I imagine the shepherds in the fields. It's very calm, it's very quiet. The sheep have settled down, the cattle have settled down. And, it's just a quiet time of night. And then all of a sudden, the sky is full of angels singing the first Noel. And so you'll hear these echoes through here. You'll hear rolling notes coming through that keep this movement of the piece going. And to just imagine your shepherds in the fields waiting for that first Noel. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it, and so do the ringers who are here tonight, including the ringers. We're going to pep things up a little bit now. Too many lullabies. We're going to make things a little livelier and get ready to deck the halls. Cynthia Dobrinsky is one of my favorite arrangers, and I think most of the choir will agree that she is one of theirs. We have two of her pieces in tonight's concert. This one, instead of using those rolling notes and the echoes dying away, uses a lot of short staccato, sharp percussive sounds done by martellottos and thumb damps and mallets that give them a very quick sound instead of one that just continues to ring out through the congregation. You will notice sometimes when the ringers are doing some of these techniques, they may hold the bell in an unusual position, but that's because what most people don't know is when you ring a bell, the sound isn't coming out of that open mouth at all. You can ring it and put it right next to your ear and you won't hear anything. It's coming from the outside of the casting of the bell. So they're going to do what they need to do to make sure that part is facing you all so that you can hear the sound to it. So we're ready now to deck the halls. There are a lot of terms in handbell ringing. The music looks just like you would sit down and sing it or play it at a piano, but there are special terms, and they're almost always in Italian, which is common in music. They're often in italics, and I always tell the ringer, don't worry about what it says. If it's in Italian, if it's in italics, it means the same thing. look at the director. And it's my job to make sure they get there. We're going to continue in this vein for all the children in the congregation, in the audience, especially the drummers, and play Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So you can be a child of 101, it doesn't matter, because I know we have a child in us, especially at Christmas time. So this is our fun version of Rudolph, more of those nice staccato, sharp sounds that you'll hear. We'll use some mallets, so we get to have fun with this one. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Okay, I confess, I'm a bell geek. I've been ringing bells for, I hate to admit, 48 years or so. And I love everything bells. And I love to play, but I don't get a chance to play quite as often as I would like. This next piece that we are doing has a section that is 2 in each hand. It's called 4 in hand. That was my second position ever to play. And so I've probably played this piece, that position, about a dozen times. So I talked to Gail Gorey, who rings with Carolina Bronze. They have a concert Thursday night at the Catholic Church here at 7:30. Gail's on the end here, and you can talk to her after the tonight and find out other places they will be. But she has agreed to direct this one so that I get to don the gloves and play.
This is arranged by Cynthia Dobrinsky-Gosko. She actually passed away. It's been about 2 years that she's left us, but she left us with a huge selection of music. In her lifetime, she probably led over 350 workshops on bells. So she's just somebody that I miss a lot. The song we're going to be doing is called Angel Tidings. So there's the teacher part of me. I like to have feedback from the audience. So tell me a name of an angel that you know. Gabriel, yeah. Any others? Michael. How about your mother or your father, maybe? Your sister, any siblings? Or I asked this with kids, and you know what they came up with? Hark. Right? And then the other person said, no, it was Harold. Yeah. So that's what you're going to actually be hearing in our song, not the words hark, but you're going to hear the tune to Hark the Herald Angels Sing. But what makes it difficult, see if you can really be a bell player. Count with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Great. Okay, we'll try it again. We're going to go a little higher. Ready? You got it. You could play this song because all they're going to do is they actually really don't need a director because Ann worked with them so well. They've got it. They just have to count to 4 sometimes, but sometimes they have to count to 6. So that's the only reason I'm waving my arms. They really know it by themselves. This is Cynthia Dobrinsky's version of Mendelssohn. That's actually one person, Mendelssohn, not Mendel's son, but Mendelssohn. Hark the Herald Angels Sing. I hope.
You see what I mean? That one's fun to play. So we are going to finish tonight's program with a wish to you, to all of you, for a Merry Christmas, but a couple business pieces before then. I would like to ask if there's anybody here in the audience who has never heard a handbell choir before. I'm glad you came. We usually hold a concert in the spring, usually the first week of May, before everybody scatters to vacation times, and at Christmas time. If you know someone that you think would enjoy this, we're doing the same thing again this Friday evening at 5. You also can check out the church's YouTube channel, and our concert will be streamed there. So if you have somebody you want to share the information about, just send them the link. And if you want to come back this coming Friday, we're doing the same pieces, but who knows, they may sound a little different. Never can tell. This last piece is, of course, we wish you a Merry Christmas. Before we start it, I've got a lot of people to thank, especially the United Women in Faith. Every time I look back that way, they're bringing more cookies. So make sure you stop and get your Christmas cooking. Save yourself some baking. These will all freeze well. One of our ringers, Cynthia, raise your hand. Cynthia said, I had an excess of figs this year on my trees, and I've never made figgy pudding, and I've never eaten figgy pudding. So she made figgy pudding for all of us, and they may still have some back there. And if not, I'm sure she'll be glad to share the recipe with you so you can make some next year. Because in this song we sing, please bring us some figgy pudding and a cup of good cheer. I want to thank everybody in our church who has helped with this. Eddie Thrasher comes and helps set up the chairs so that we have room to set up all these tables. Christopher's hiding up there in the booth, running the sound for us and streaming this to the YouTube channel. We appreciate the staff who prints bulletins for me and attends and all of these services that we give. We do also try to play once a month on the second Sunday of the month, and some of us will be playing Christmas Eve, both of the services that are in this worship space here at 10:30 and 6 o'clock. So if you are free and would like to have a nice Christmas Eve service, we invite you to that as well. So thank you to everybody. Thank you to our hero handbell ringers here who stepped in at the last minute. And we would like to, with this last song, wish you all a very Merry Christmas. I'll let you know when it's your turn to sing. Thank you for being here. Thanks to the Ringers for being here. Spread the word. We're ready to spread the Christmas cheer over here.
One thing you all don't know, we give Ann a little gift sometimes. And she almost always spends the whole amount on the bell choir, buying things that help us out. So I want you to buy something for yourself first, and then if you've got any left over.
I bought a baton last year.
Yeah. Thank you for all that you do, Ann.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you, everybody who came tonight. Please feel free to stop and speak to the Ringers. We'll let you pick up a bell and see what it sounds like or what it feels like to ring a bell. If you have any questions, they can answer you, everywhere from the big guys that get bonked with bonkers all the way up to the little ones that are 2 or 3 in each hand. So come on up and say hello to the Ringers.